To the senior class of 2020, this one's for you. Congratulations. You've just completed the weirdest, most awkward 3.5 years of your entire life. Some of you just counted with your fingers and are going, hey, old man, high school's 4 years. What's wrong with you? Are you so senile that you don't even know what you're doing anymore? I mean, come on, you're not fooling anybody. Your podcast is clearly a midlife crisis. Okay, first of all, ouch. Second of all, that last semester is something that needs to be in its own place. We'll get to that in a moment or two. Throughout the next few minutes, I hope to give you some words of wisdom, a few intriguing thoughts, and have a conversation about life stuff. We'll get serious, we'll laugh a little bit, and although it is never my intention to make people cry, if you've listened to this silly little show the past few years, you know that it can happen. Think about where you were 4 years ago. You were scared, and you probably didn't know what to do. Now look where you are. You're scared, and you don't know what to do. You've come a long way, baby. Weird, right? That's how things go sometimes. You find yourself in similar situations, and in most cases, it is absolutely not your fault. How you react to inconveniences, challenges, and a freaking pandemic defines your character and helps build upon that character so that you may be better prepared to handle life's roadblocks. 4 years ago, I was living in Plano. Things weren't exactly going well. I was hundreds of miles away from home. I made very few friends. I was passed over for a promotion, and my relationship was practically over. Cut to today, and I'm living a completely different life. I don't dread waking up in the morning. I have a wonderful career, so things can change for the better. Through the darkness, you must keep a positive attitude, and you must do everything possible to keep hope alive. Okay, real talk. That coronavirus thing was really effing stupid, right? Like absurdly stupid. Seniors, through no fault of your own, the experience of lamenting going to class, being annoyed with your parents, feeling awkwardness at the prom, and the fear of falling on your face while walking across the graduation stage was all taken away from you. Those are all experiences that everyone has taken for granted. They're a part of growing up. They just happen, like puberty. Gross. Anyways, those little rites of passages that we all went through were not in the cards for you, unfortunately. Not only were those experiences taken from you, you were told to stay inside for a while. Like a long while. You know you've been inside too long when the shy people are beginning to go out, or beginning and begging to go outside. You quickly learned that life is so much better when you have people around to share it with. You learn to appreciate your friends more and how cool it is simply to have someone your age to talk to. You learn to appreciate your family more. Sure, you got sick of them around the 9th jigsaw puzzle. This one's about SeaWorld. Look at Shamu screaming for his life. Still, your family hopefully grew closer together. And oh, by the way, you got parades. There was a parade for everything. High school band parade, middle school band parade. You took one karate class 14 years ago, and you get a parade too. The only time I've ever had that many cars honking at me was when I ran over that apartment finder kiosk my junior year. Yes, that actually happened. My point is that while experiences were taken away, you were able to appreciate what you had around you and had an entire community rally around you to make sure your accomplishments were not forgotten. Which brings me to my next point. Do not think that the last 3 months diminishes what you've accomplished so far in your life. It is the totality of your work, your relationships, and your selflessness that defines your life. Your music and movement has meant more to me than you will ever know. They have helped me through some of the toughest times I've faced. I'll never be able to thank you enough. I've spent and spoken with many of you over the years. My hope is that you left those conversations knowing how awesome your performances were and that you are capable of wonderful things beyond the marching field. Usually these speeches have a little section on how the outgoing senior class needs to change the world, invent the better tasting Twinkie, or start a company that makes cars that run on French fry grease. Yeah, I'm getting pretty hungry. However, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you to go out there and change your community. This is why, and this is how. Somewhere along the way, and my brain hurts just from even attempting to figure out exactly when this happened, we let awareness and action move in together. They share an apartment now. They label their own food in the fridge. They split the cable bill. But yeah, they live together now. We've confused bringing awareness to issues with actually doing something about the problem. Now, don't get me wrong. Sharing how you're feeling about certain issues, retweeting artwork, memes, and tagging your friends and all that stuff is extremely important. However, it is just one part of the whole equation. Bringing awareness about issues that bother you is good, but an increasing number of people dust their hands off, fold their arms, and nod when they share something on social media. Well, job's done here. It's great finding the good fight. Unless you've been living under 17 rocks, you are pretty aware of what happened in Minneapolis, and Louisville, and Parkland, and Santa Fe High School. Seniors, there are people unjustifiably dying in your streets. And because of those deaths, people are taking their action to your streets. And yes, people are taking advantage of the large gathering of groups by destroying property on your streets. And I emphasize that because they are your streets. How do we fix it? You educate yourself. You research. You let issues swirl around your head, and then you form your opinion. You go out and vote. We got to bring that up. And plus you get a sticker, and everybody loves stickers. How else do you do it? You impact your community. You do what you need to do. You volunteer at the food bank. You read to kids at the library. You volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club. Do what you need to do. If you choose to demonstrate and protest, please do so peacefully. And please be aware that there are going to be individuals ready to take advantage of that situation. People will smash windows and vandalize under the veil of justice. When that happens, you cannot let it discourage you. Stay strong. Stay powerful. You have the energy to help change things in your community. Use it. And guess what? When you start making a living for yourself and you become successful, don't be afraid to write a big fat check to nonprofits who will help fight for the causes you believe in. I don't care if you went to school in Louisville ISD, Leander ISD, Conroe ISD, Sleta ISD, Amarillo ISD, Hidalgo ISD, Brownsville ISD, Garland ISD, Northeast, Northside, Judson, Southwest, or Edgewood ISD. There are people in your community who desperately need your help. Volunteer at that food bank. Read to kids at the library. Get involved with clubs at your university or college that will help your fellow man. Seniors, this is your community and your country too. You get a say in how things are done. The moment you realize how empowered you are to make a difference in your community is the moment when the tide starts turning towards a better world. Seniors, you have an important decision to make. Unfortunately, it's a decision that most people do not have to make until later on in life. Rightfully so, many of you are pissed. How dare they keep me inside? How dare they take away my prom and graduation? How dare they take away my friends from me? You're angry, I get it. My question to you is, how long do you plan on harboring that resentment? One of my favorite songs is a song by a band called Oasis. They have a tune called Don't Look Back in Anger, and it is one of the most shouted songs I've ever screamed in my car. I've sang that song on numerous occasions during multiple phases of my life. Things are going to go awry and stuff is going to screw up. You will be faced with problems that you are forced to solve regardless of who was at fault. My question to you is, what are you going to do? Will you sit there stewing in your own anger, or will you put your feet to the ground and get the job done? The choice is yours and yours alone. Yes, there's plenty to be angry about. Many of us are watching our cities get smashed up and burned. We're still limited to what we are allowed and not allowed to do on a daily basis. Your community needs you to be strong for them. They need to see you in action making a difference. Good deeds will never go unnoticed and without reward. Now, granted, that reward may not always be something you can tag on social media. However, you need to keep the faith and keep helping, keep doing, and keep going. Seniors, everything is weird right now. Back in March, many of you looked at your parents and your parents looked at you and you both shrugged at each other. Neither of you had answers. What do we do? How do we do it? You were already dealing with the challenges of growing up, and then all of a sudden everything got exponentially more difficult. But guess what? You figured it out. You found ways around it. If you can make it through in an unprecedented time with a good head on your shoulders, you can make it through anything. Don't you ever forget that. Seniors, I think I'm done here. I hope this helped. I really do. And if it didn't, just blame In-N-Out. I'm kidding. It's a decent burger. Your work is just beginning. It is imperative that no matter where you are this fall, you hit the ground running. Do what you need to do to get motivated and chase your dreams. And when the road gets bumpy, do what you need to do to navigate those obstacles. A clear mind and an open heart will guide you through some of the most difficult times you will face. My hope is that you enjoy your life to its fullest and help those along the way who may be struggling with theirs. My name is Daniel Valdez, and I want to wish congratulations to the senior class of 2020. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.